students, today we are going to study chapter number 3 of Oliver Twist. Children, you remember in chapter number 2, Oliver left Mr. Sowerberry's house early in the morning with the little belonging that he had tied in a handkerchief. He planned to go to London to look for work, and the name of the third chapter is On the Streets of London. The main characters that we will come across in this chapter are Jack Dawkins, also known as Artful Dodger, Fagin, an old Jew who was the head of a gang of thieves, Charlie Bates, a member of the gang, Mr. Brownlow, an old gentleman, and the bookstore owner. These are the main characters whom we'll come across in the third chapter. Oliver walked for almost 7 days in the daytime and slept in the fields at night to reach London. Some people took pity on him on the way and gave him some food or water to drink. At last, after 7 days, he reached London and he sat down on the doorsteps of a house to rest. At that moment, he heard somebody saying hello to him. He looked up and he saw a boy standing next to him. He was almost Oliver's age, but he was wearing a coat which was too big for him. It was a man's coat which touched the ground. And he asked Oliver that what's the matter. Oliver said that he had been walking for almost 7 days and he was very tired and very hungry. So that boy introduced himself as Jack Dawkins, also known as Artful Dodger, and Oliver introduced himself as Oliver Twist. He took Oliver to eat some food, so he took him somewhere where he was served some cold meat with bread. And after that he asked Oliver that did he know anybody in London. So Oliver said that he didn't know anybody. So Jack Dawkins said that he knew an old man who could help him out. Oliver felt very happy that as soon as he reached London, he found somebody to help him. He said that he doesn't mind going with him. So both of them went to the dirtiest and the poorest area of London and reached to a very dirty house. They entered inside the house, they climbed up the steps and reached to a room. The room was also as dirty as the house. The walls and the ceiling was all dirty with grease, and it was looking very dirty. And there was an old man who was standing on near a pan, and he was cooking some meat in the pan. That man had greasy red hair and he also looked very dirty. There were some boys who were sitting around a table and eating the food that the man was cooking for them. Jack Dawkins introduced Oliver Twist to that man. He was Fagin, and he introduced Fagin to Oliver Twist. After that, all the boys who were eating the food got up from their tables and went and searched Oliver's pockets, and then they all started laughing. Oliver sat down, and when he looked around in the room, he saw a clothesline which had very colorful and clean handkerchiefs hanging on them. He was really very surprised to see that, because the whole room was so dirty, but the handkerchiefs which are hanging on the clothesline were very neat and clean. So when Mr. Fagin saw him looking at those handkerchiefs so curiously, he started laughing. He said, "We just washed those handkerchiefs and we have just hung them." After that, Oliver was given food and he also ate with the boys, and they all were laughing and chatting along, and Oliver thought that they are all very happy-go-lucky kind of people. That night he slept in the same room, and when he woke up in the morning, the boys had all left and only Fagin was there in the house. So Fagin told Oliver that the boys have gone out for work. After some time, the boys come back, and they all have some of them had wallets in their hands, some had handkerchiefs in their hand, and they gave it all to Fagin. Fagin was very happy to receive all these things. then he asked Oliver that did he want to get all these kind of things home. So Oliver said, yeah, he would like to do it. So he said, Fagin said that he will teach him how to do it. So they started playing a game. Fagin played a game with all the boys. Fagin put some things in his pockets, some wallets and some handkerchiefs in his pocket, and the boys were supposed to take out the handkerchiefs or the wallet from his pocket without Fagin noticing it. If Fagin would notice it, that means Fagin was the winner, and if the boys took out those things from his pocket without Fagin seeing or noticing it, then the boys were the winner. This game went on for some time, and Oliver also joined them in the game, and he enjoyed the game a lot. After a few days, Fagin thought that now he could send Oliver with the boys on the streets. So he sent Oliver with Charlie Bates and Jack Dawkins to the streets of London. So all three of them went outside. Both the boys walked for a long time, and afterwards they came on a street and they saw an old gentleman standing outside a bookstore and reading a book. Charlie Bates told Jack Dawkins that this man will do. Jack Dawkins also agreed, yes. But Oliver did not understand what did they mean. Anyways, then he saw that both the boys went near the old gentleman. Then one of them put the hand in his pocket and took out his silken handkerchief, and they started running. At the same moment, the man realized that somebody has stolen the handkerchief from his pocket. He started shouting, "Stop, thief!" And Oliver also realized at that time that they were thieves. Till that time, he did not know that they were thieves and pickpockets. He was so frightened, so scared that he also started running. All the people and that old gentleman started following Oliver, because the two boys ran away and they disappeared. Oliver was also running like wind. He was running very fast, but he slipped and fell down on the street. After that, all the people gathered around him, and that old gentleman said, "I'm afraid that he is the boy." But when he said that, the man from the bookstore came outside and he said, "No sir, he is not the boy, because I saw two other boys stealing the handkerchief from your pocket and they ran away. He is not the one, he is innocent." So when he saw, he was Mr. Brownlow, the old gentleman was Mr. Brownlow. So when he looked at Oliver's face, he saw that his eyes were really innocent and he was so frightened. He felt sad for Oliver. He said that the boy was looking very ill, and he asked the people to get a carriage for him so that he could take the boy to his home. After that, Oliver fainted. Those were the last words that he remembered, and then Oliver fainted. So we come to the end of the third chapter. Now children, go through the chapter again, see the video again, and you will understand the chapter properly. So children, will be seeing you in my next video with the next chapter. Bye bye till then.